does this act violate the Commerce Clause? I mean, aren't there products that will be crossing state lines? And doesn't the federal government have the jurisdiction over regulating that? Here's the answer. Yes, the federal Congress can pass the Human Trafficking Prevention Act and apply it to the manufacturers. That is in the works through the Commerce Committee. That bill will regulate out-of-state manufacturers and tell them you cannot ship products across state lines unless they have activated filters that automatically block prostitution hubs, child pornography, revenge pornography, and obscenity as defined under the state and federal obscenity codes. President Trump has agreed to sign a pledge to oppose pornography, so when that bill gets to his desk, he will sign that. But that bill has not become law. And so the question here is, will the state laws violate the Commerce Clause? And the answer to that is no, they will not. The best way to understand how that is through an illustration. So take cars, for example. Take Toyota. So within this state, there are Toyota dealerships, and Toyota cars are likely not made in this state. They're likely made elsewhere, maybe Japan, let's say, or another state, and they're shipped to the state. Once the Toyota cars get there, the retailer cannot let those products leave the lot with the customer without first having ensured that they meet safety standards, that they have seatbelts installed or airbags or whatever the standard is. And the retailer can get with the manufacturer and say, manufacturer, help us comply with the safety standards so we can sell your products. Or perhaps the retailer could install the safety features themselves. But it is the duty of the retailer to comply with that in order to protect consumers. And without cars, there's no such thing as car wrecks. So it makes a lot of sense that the state legislature tells the car manufacturers and retailers that they can't let the products leave the retail store without first complying with safety measures. The same thing is true here in the case where we're dealing with products that distribute the internet. They should not be allowed to leave the retail stores with minors or non-consenting adults who don't want to have access to child pornography, prostitution hubs, revenge pornography, and obscenity as is defined under the existing obscenity statute. Moreover, in terms of the Commerce Clause, it is likely that the retail stores will pressure out-of-state manufacturers to help them comply with this law. Either A, the retail stores can charge a filter deactivation fee in an amount that will cover their costs as well as incentivizing out-of-state manufacturers to help them comply, or also they could tell manufacturers out of state that if they want to continue to sell their products within this state, that they should help the retailers comply. And of course, the fact that we have multiple states rolling out this bill at one time is going to overwhelm the tech companies' fear and phobia of being regulated. For decades, auto manufacturers refused to sell their cars with seatbelts. It took decades before they did, and that's because sometimes we don't have a democracy of the people, by the people, and for the people. We have a democracy of the Microsofts, by the Samsungs, and for the Apples. But this act stops the double standard. It finally will regulate the tech companies and regulate them in a way that is equal to how bricks and mortar porn shops are regulated. There is a double standard. That double standard should end.